A federal judge has approved a $23 billion settlement in a First Nations human rights complaint filed in 2007. It will see Ottawa compensate more than 300,000 Indigenous children and their families over chronic underfunding of on-reserve child welfare services. In 2016, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal called Ottawa's treatment of First Nations child welfare willful and reckless. It also found in some cases communities were denied services as a result of the government's involvement. And for more on this, we are joined live now by Zacchaeus Joseph Trout, a representative plaintiff in the class action. Thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate your time. Can you tell me more about what this historic agreement, the settlement, means to you and your family?
It means a lot for my family, and actually, it's not to improve any of our lives or any way, shape, or form, but it'll actually help throughout all the ordeals that we have went through. But it's actually for the children today that are currently living through some hardships. As we always say that in our communities, that it's pretty hard to live in a community where there's no programs or services. That's the reason why. And that's the reason why for this claim. It's for the children. It's
right. And I know there is a lot of pain behind your legal action. Back in 2021, you filed a class action lawsuit against Ottawa for failing to provide proper health care for your two children. And your children died before the age of 10. I want to offer my deepest condolences. Can you tell me what that was like and what it feels like now, knowing that the government has at least tried to acknowledge some of that pain, but I'm sure it'll never be enough?
It's never going to be enough. No matter what amount of money, it's not going to restore anything. It's not going to bring back my kids. It's not going to change how I feel. It's never gonna. It's like there's never gonna be a closure. When you go through grief, it's something that it doesn't go away overnight. It's, no matter what people do, no matter what they say, no matter what they try to do and compensate you, of all the things that we have lost, it's not gonna bring back anything. It's not gonna change anything, really, for us. What is done was already done, without no remorse kind of thing from the government. That's what hurts the most, when we were left neglected. And it's like being set aside that we'll deal with you later, but our priorities are this way kind of thing. It's not right. That's not right. It's inhumane. And the pain that we feel today, it's not going to change of what happened yesterday. The pain will always be there. But what I'm happy about is it'll change how we look at Indigenous people, in looking at how we can deal with these issues and how we can go about them. It's like the voices in the wind that you cannot hear or understand. Now the voices are being heard, now that we can understand. That's how I look at things. But I hope it will bring change. And I hope it brings more meaning for the children and for the families that need this.
What is your hope for future generations of First Nations children in this country?
To have more programs and services that are needed in the community, especially a 10,000 population. And we all know that in an urban setting where there's 5,000 people, there's a hospital. That's what's needed in these communities, a hospital, dialysis, whatever that people need in a city. That's what back home. You can't keep nickel and diming communities when the government lives off the land of the Indigenous land. That's the thing. it's just so, I don't know, it's not humane to me to keep living like that or to keep going through the same thing day to day and not improving the lives of our people.
Absolutely. Zacchaeus Joseph Trout, representative plaintiff in this class action, I want to thank you so much for your time and for this conversation. We so appreciate this.